Houlihan's Painting Party. This ain't your daddy's painting class. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mary Houlihan.
Woo! Pew, 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 pew. How is everybody? Forrest, drop some sound effects. Forrest, do you have any? Oh, thank you. Okay, keep this on. I feel like I look tired. More applause. More applause. Now I look wide awake. Welcome to the show. Can I? Can I show you guys something? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna bring Veronica in, but Veronica, I'm gonna introduce you in a second. First, we're gonna watch a thing.
Okay.
Okay. Allow. Where is this? Oh my god, I have so many tabs open. It's hard to find it.
Is there any way you want to tee up what you're going to be showing? Like, what kind
Oh,
of
that's
thing?
smart. That's smart. Okay, you know how I've been saying for 5 years that I'm interviewing for a journalist job?
Yeah.
So I moved on to the next round and I got assigned to, well, they asked me for pitches and then they said, okay, make a video about this pitch and
cool.
we'll pay you for it. And I want to show you it.
Oh,
And then I'll say, I did a good job, right?
Yes!
Okay, get a load of it. Veronica, I think you'll like this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not against Trump. I'm against the way that he is getting the illegals. It's getting physical.
I was Republican ever since Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for governor. When you operate outside of the Constitution and when you do not show a warrant, it's just wrong.
This past year, I've been doing
That's
a
me.
lot of reporting on ICE and detention centers.
Here in California City, Immigration Detention Center.
I do love
owned
the
by
blonde woman
private
credit.
companies. I wouldn't
Mhm.
go closer, but we would get sniped by guns, Elizabeth.
The more I learn about it, I'm completely blown away by the sheer amount of corruption and stealing tax dollars. And it makes me go, oh my God, we need to tell the libertarians about this. Nice.
All of these detention centers are run by private for-profit prison companies, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars for every single person who's in there. They're looking for bodies to put into these prisons so they can keep on stealing from taxpayers. These for-profit prison companies donate almost an equal amount between Republicans and Democrats.
I think corporate news kind of doesn't want to talk about the corruption angle. I think they just want it to be a left versus right culture war thing, because otherwise we might start organizing with each other. Oh my God, uh-oh.
Why do you think Democrats haven't been cracking down on ICE?
Because financially, it doesn't benefit them to do so.
Why do you think Republicans aren't cracking down on ICE?
For the same reason.
You can be against ICE because it's morally reprehensible. You can be against ICE because it's unconstitutional. You could be against ICE because you voted for Trump and you wanted mass deportations, and now you're like, wait a second, He's not really deporting anybody. He's just storing them in these warehouses.
You don't want militarized people in the streets.
Rogan mode.
Just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers?
Anybody seeing that, who you immediately knee-jerk to defend them, the level of idiotic tribal partisan shit where you're just going to defend your side no matter what.
I don't really give a shit if you think these podcast guys are grifters. They're telling millions of people that it's okay to criticize ICE. That's a good thing. I'd like to see detention centers become the new data centers, something that people on the left and the right can both realize is a scam that's stealing your tax dollars and giving them to rich fucking assholes.
I've worked at CoreCivic for 32 years, and this is truly one of the most exciting periods in my career with the company.
Wow, I did such a good job.
That was great.
Right? I think that was fun.
It was.
So Veronica, this is kind of up your alley because you are an independent. And what are you running for?
I'm running for U.S. Senate to challenge Cory Booker here in New Jersey.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to run against him?
Well, because I know we can do a lot better, and he's not effective at a time when we need everyone to be effective. We only get 2 senators. He's been very busy writing and touring his book, visiting first primary states, because anybody who pays attention knows he's going to run for president. And right here in New Jersey, things are getting more costly. It's getting more tense. It's getting more ugly. And he's more focused. I feel like we're his side hustle.
Yeah.
You know? And I liked him in the beginning. I had great hope for him, but he's fallen into the swamp. He takes the APAC money. Initially took a lot of money from the healthcare industry and money from Wall Street. I follow the centerpiece of our platform is overturning Citizens United. I got involved in that early on, and that is the root of all evil and why we get no significant movement on any issues. And you find both Democrats, as you just showed there, that they both take money from these donors and then promote their agenda rather than the values that we have and what we need to live our lives. So yeah, I almost feel like anybody but Booker right now, and I saw a couple of people try to step up and do it, but I don't know if you follow like the county line we had here in our state, that we have the most corrupt ballots in the country with the county line. Mm-hmm. And if you're endorsed by the county committees, you get about a 38% advantage for a win. Mm-hmm. That's not democracy. When I ran before, I think that's the reason why our ballots are so big. They're like the size of posters, because they'll put all of their chosen candidates in one column, and then we're over here in what they call ballot Siberia. Mm-hmm. But, when Bob Menendez was arrested, convicted, and sent to jail, and Andy Kim stepped up, and right away, like Murphy came out and endorsed his wife and wanted everybody else to do it. It was just more corruption. So we really fought and got rid of the county line. And I was proud to be a part of that. I love being a part of that because that county line was just infuriating. It's really hard when it's the party that you most align with and you have to fight them too. Like they're not watching out for our best interests. But so that was interesting. We had the office block ballots for the Senate for the primary. And so we're making progress. But back to your question, I went off a little bit, is they made it really hard for anybody else to get on the ballot here. Like Cory Booker in the June primary had no challengers. When you went in to vote in our primary, we're a closed state, there was no choice. It was Cory Booker or no one. And again, that's not right, because they more than doubled Phil Murphy with others in the machine, more than doubled the amount of signatures to get on the ballot. And the Democratic challenger couldn't make it. So I took it as an independent, because I ran before. I was on the ballot in 2020, and I'm resourceful, and I know how to get signatures. And we got about 2,500 signatures, and we survived any contest, and we made the ballot.
So they doubled like the required amount of signatures to get on the ballot?
More than doubled. It
Wow.
went for independents. It went from 800 to 2,000, and for
Wow.
party members, it went from 1,000 to 2,500. And they shortened the time that you were able to get it, and they required you to get it from throughout the state. So,
Oh. Like you
yeah.
need to get someone from each county, or how does that work?
You know, it's a little tricky. I didn't want to probe in it too much because I didn't want to stir up any muck. But, right, because when I ran in 2020, it was during COVID, and I could get all of my signatures from my town if I needed to. But, sorry, that's my son, and I thought I had him muted. I apologize for that. But now I noticed this time when we went to file, they wanted signatures from throughout the state. So I don't know if there was an exception for COVID and we went back to normal that we want them throughout the state, but we did. We got them throughout the state, so we were good.
Wow. Something I find interesting about how no one challenged Booker and how no one challenged Josh Gottheimer, who's my personal enemy. And then you and Adam Rueda, who has been on the show, you guys challenge as independents. But it makes me wonder, like, so many people hate these candidates. And surely there's people that want to run as Democrats against them. But it seems like there must be a lot of obstacles, like the signature requirements. And also, I think some of it is just a mental thing of people might want to run, but they think, oh my God, Gottheimer and Booker have so much money behind them. It's not worth it. And they're going to make campaign ads that insult me and my family. And is it even worth going through that? And I just think that's like mobster behavior. I think that's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It is, and especially the part like I haven't had attacks on my family, but I don't know. I'm ready for it if it happens. You know, I'm very happy where I am in life right now. This is what I want to do. I feel totally prepared and seasoned and ready to go. So whatever you got, you got. What I want to do is I want to work on, you know, my background is healthcare. I'm a fierce supporter for Medicare for all. I was a licensed underwriter in our state for 20 years. I know how corrupt it is, and I know how to fix it. And so, you know,
Someone asks, Veronica, when you win the election, who do you think will play you on SNL?
Oh, on SNL. I haven't watched SNL in so long. I would love if they could bring back somebody because I'm older. Who could bring?
Rachel Dratch.
Yeah. Or I like Tina Fey.
Yeah, and you know she has the glasses.
Yeah, she has the glasses. She has the dark hair.
Yeah,
and she's just like I loved when her and Amy Poehler would do the
Weekend Update.
Oh, not the Weekend Update. It was who was the wingnut from Alaska?
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. Hysterical. I love that.
Yeah, she was very good at that.
Yes, she was. She's very good. Very good. So yeah, I'll take anybody.
Nice.
Actually, I'd like to play myself.
There you go. Oh, I forgot to say, if you guys are painting or drawing today, we do have a theme. The theme is Jersey-licious. So if you want to make Jersey-licious art, send it in and we'll show it. I think Forrest already made Jersey-licious art. So join him in making Jersey-licious art.
Is that like food from like New Jersey or?
It's however they interpret the theme. It could be, food. It could be a Real Housewife of New Jersey.
Oh my God. Like the Jersey Devil and the Pine Barrens.
Yeah. Sopranos.
Oh, there's plenty of material.
Yeah. Food was the way I took it.
Great state. I love our state.
I did the Wawa Shorty mascot holding Lost Season 1 on DVD.
Very nice. We love Lost season 1 on this show.
Oh, God.
Beautiful. Well done, Forrest.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's so much corruption. I mean, I'm sure there's corruption in every single state, of course, but Jersey is kind of notorious for corruption, and I almost think people are like normalized to it. They're just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, when
Like,
you go ahead, I'm sorry.
like you mentioned, Bob Menendez, who did he also take gold bars like Eric Adams did? I feel like a lot of a lot of corrupt politicians take gold bars, which I always find funny and bizarre.
Yeah, that's kind
Um,
of preppy, you know?
yeah, and then
It's
his
preppy.
son went into office, and it's like, you don't think this guy's gonna take bribes? Hello.
You know, I'm starting to change my vibe with him a little bit with
Oh,
Rob
tell me.
because he's showing up at Delaney a lot.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he's got a heavy weight from his father. And I don't like how he got his office. He got it through nepotism.
Yeah.
Because there were some very qualified candidates running against him who would have debates, and he wouldn't even show up with debates. But I don't remember, you know, I don't forget the past. But I like some of what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
I don't like that they endorse him, right? They endorse the incumbents right out of the, you know, right out of the gate, which they do here. But I don't know. I'm watching him through a different lens right now.
And also, Chris Christie famously closed down the George Washington Bridge to get back at his haters or whatever.
Yes. And that's a tricky thing, too, because right now the only one who has a debate is the New Jersey Globe, and that's David Wildstein. And he was involved in that bridge gate.
That's crazy. How does he still have a job?
Yeah. I don't know, but he's the one in charge of debates, and I've kind of had a couple of little, like, not tips, but because I try to get in the debates because they only have the Democrat and the Republican, and I really feel that voters should be able to hear from all of their ballot qualified candidates. They need to know of all their choices. Now, the League of Women Voters is really good because they will host all candidates who are ballot qualified. And places like the New Jersey Globe will only have the Democrat and the Republican. Sometimes it's the colleges and the universities will only have the two parties. And we are so much bigger than the two parties. And if people like me who busted our butts and got the support to become a viable candidate on the ballot should be given the same platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like another way that, you know, people with money corrupt elections. When the third party candidates show up to a debate, they all drop out, and then the debate gets canceled. Like that happens in other states all the time.
Yeah.
And it is crazy. I think they're kind of relying on the general public to be ignorant about this, but also because they don't report on this stuff properly. So I think they have the general public thinking, oh, third party, there's probably like 10 of them on the ballot, right? They're not serious. And no, it's 3 names on the ballot. If there's only 3 people, they should all be at the debate.
Yes. Yeah, you need to hear all your choices. An informed voter is a good voter. You know, because we like I said before, we're much bigger than two parties. We're much bigger than two parties. The two-party system is failing us. It really is. And we need change. And I really like, you know, that there are more progressives showing up, more independents showing up. My ideal dream in New Jersey would be for all of us to re-register as unaffiliated. And that would really knock their socks off because they've lost their base and now they're going to have to work for it. They're not just going to have to assume that they have us because so many people vote red down the ticket or blue down the ticket. And you know what? Let's make it a little more challenging to figure out who you're going to vote for.
I think a problem is some people, well, first of all, the media is bad. It doesn't really tell people what their options are. But also some people just genuinely are like working 80 hours a week and like don't really have time to learn about who's running. And so you just show up on election day and you're like, oh my God, there's so many things that I didn't even know were going to be on the ballot. And then that's when you just, okay, Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. And that's what I experienced when I lived in West Milford, is that I just, who's running for Congress? Oh, of course, I'll vote for the Democrat. And then when the genocide started, I was like, oh, I'll just write to my congressperson and say, I disapprove of this. Can you stop sending money?
Yeah.
And the letter I got back from him was so heinous and Islamophobic. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. You're an anti-Semite now.
Of course.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't scan it or take a picture of it, so I don't know exactly what the wording was, but I remember it being something like, we need to finish the job. We need to get rid of anybody that might join Hamas. Like, it was just like genocidal language that I was like, I can't even believe someone is saying it this outright. Sometimes people say it with dog whistles and coded language, but to just be like, sorry, constituent, we have to kill them all. I was like, I can't even believe this.
Yeah, they say that, but when we call it a genocide, then we're anti-Semites. They get more upset about being questioned about a genocide than an actual genocide.
I know. It's like a abstract debate to them. They're like not thinking of the reality. No. But, we're seeing so many elections like Zoran and the other DSA candidates in New York City, and Brad Lander and Abdul Sayed and Milad Kiros. So many people around the country are just saying, it's a genocide, let's stop funding it. And then they win, they crush their opponent because people are like, yes, thank you. Yeah. So I have faith that it's going to keep going in that direction. It really seems like the people who say, no, you can't call it that, that's anti-Semitic, that seems like such a small percentage of the population, but there's so many bots online like harassing people that it makes it seem like more people believe that, but really that's like a fringe idea. I don't think a lot of people think that way.
Right. Yeah, well, it's about education and it's about informing. And like you said, with the independent podcasts and everything, this is where people are getting their information now, and they're getting more accurate information because what we get from the media suits the media, you know? And so, no, shows like this and the other podcasts, this is where people are learning from, independent news.
Yeah. Something that's really driven me crazy, especially during the genocide, because I'm like, this information has to get out. Oh my God. I feel like liberal Hollywood, which is like where I usually work, it's very performative liberal. A lot of the people are much more conservative than they let on.
Right.
But they just want to appear liberal. And they make so much noise about all podcasts are grifters. Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and Tim Dillon, they're all grifters. And like, people don't have to like those guys. That's fine. But I feel like when they're saying that, it's trying to like intimidate people from making podcasts and from saying their political beliefs. They're basically saying like, if you don't just fall in line with like what they say on MS Now, we might not hire you. And then people are scared.
Yeah. It's very it's unfair.
So tell me about your background.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised here in New Jersey. I've lived here my entire life. I was born and raised up in Sussex County. I live in Morris County now. I'm married to my husband, Mike. He's a Navy veteran and an electrical contractor. We've been married for 32 years. We have 2 young adult children who we raised in our state and we educated through our public schools. And we also run a small commercial electrical contracting business. But before we started our business and started raising our family, My career was spent as a licensed property casualty, including health insurance underwriter in our state for 20 years.
Wow.
And I started out in personal lines like auto and homeowners, but the majority of my career was spent in commercial lines where I underwrote and serviced everything from like landscapers and plumbers to municipalities, boards of education, public utilities, public housing. I had a really fascinating job because, like, in order to, know how to underwrite and service these types of entities, you have to know what they need and how they work. And I was one of those people. I was really geeky. I loved my job. I really did. I couldn't believe I got paid for what I was doing. And then, but then when we had our kids and, we wanted to be more with them and we started our business. And it was very helpful to start our own business that I had so much experience in business.
Yeah.
And we were also a union contractor. So, I have the background of being in a union employer, and my husband was a union employee, and I know what's wrong and what's good with unions. Like one of the things with my background with insurance is I'm a Medicare for All geek and nerd, and I love insurance. I could talk about insurance all day long. But like the union employees, 25% of their gross payroll goes to health insurance premiums. 25% of gross payroll. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. So anyway, then we started our business, and we've had our business for about 20 years. We're starting to wind down. I am about 95% retired. I just turned 67 last month. And my husband's 4 years younger than me, so he's got 2 more years to go. He's going to turn 63 this month. And but he's slowly winding down, and this is what I want to do. And I got activated by Bernie Sanders, like in 2015 and 2016. Like, I've always paid attention. I've always felt for the underdog. I've never liked unfairness. I've always seen things, but I don't know, I kind of notice what's going on in a room and who's being a jerk and who's not. And so when my kids started to get a little older and I had a little time, and I heard Bernie Sanders, and I just loved the vision that he had for our country. And so I got out of my comfort zone, and I went out and I canvassed for him, and I've seen him twice, and like been within 50 feet of him, and I've been gaga, and I just love the whole approach of like that authenticity, that drive for what we could be, what our country is meant to be, and how he just keeps fighting in the battle all the time. So that's how I got involved. And now, I loved my job, and I loved running a business, and it gave me the freedom to be with my kids and all of that kind of stuff. But this is what I really want to do. And I was speaking to a granny brigade the other day. Like, they're pretty powerful women,
Yes, I saw your picture with them.
Oh, they're awesome. They know a lot. They've got great advice. They're spot on. And I really enjoyed talking to them. But what was the whole point I was going to say? Like, I said to them, like, I'd always heard, like, in my 20s, 30s, because I always fell into my jobs, I never knew what I wanted to do. And now I find myself like peaking in my 60s. And I had always heard of people saying, oh, you peak in your 50s, your 40s. Some people peak in high school. I still know. They do. I swear to God, I see it all the time. But then to actually get this energized and this happy and this dedicated at this point in life when I'm so free, and everything I've learned has made me like, we're meant to be a representative government, and I feel I can do just about anything. So that's it.
That rules. So your main platform is Medicare for all, getting money out of politics. What else would you say are priorities?
Okay, well, it basically starts at electoral reform with overturning Citizens United, a constitutional amendment. Because this country, like one thing about Cory Booker, he's placid in a time when he can't be, and he's not effective at all. I want to be running with, there's already an existing resolution introduced by Gene Sheehan out of New Hampshire for a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United. We need structural, foundational change in this country. We need to change, and we need a constitutional amendment. We haven't had one in 30 years. We're past due, and there's no better place to start than overturning Citizens United and cleaning up how our elections are funded. And it can be done. The 26th Amendment to drop the voting age down to 18 was ratified in 100 days. So when people say, oh, a constitutional amendment, that's impossible. No, it is not impossible. It's highly doable. You just have the right people to do it, to do that. And I know I'm one of those because I feel so strongly about it. And the reason why I like that is because of the Medicare for All. What I have paid for health insurance as a business owner, as a parent of a significantly disabled child, what I have had to go through with that, and for employees, I know nothing will trigger me faster than healthcare.
Yeah.
I want to fight them. I do. Like I joke, I won't be waiting for them in some committee hearing. I'm going to be in the parking lot. I want to be in the parking lot because we're dying. We are dying. We're dying. And like they say, oh, we should have a proactive healthcare system, which I agree with. We don't even have a reactive healthcare system. We have a deterrent healthcare. We are deterred from seeking healthcare in this country, yet we pay twice as much per capita. And, you know, people will say like, and I win conservatives over with this too. That's why I'm an independent, and I did very well in my very red town. I got like 42% of the vote, because when conservatives realize just how much they're paying for health care, they can't believe it. It's loaded in our property taxes. We have like 565 municipalities in our state. Every one of them is loaded with millions of dollars in health care. And right now they're cutting budgets, school budgets, cutting kids' programs, letting teachers go, cutting salaries. And you know what? We have the money in the budgets, but it's going to a handful of health insurance companies who provide no medical product, no medical services. Right now, our average teacher salary is about $81,000. Their 2026 family premium without vision and without hearing is over $60,000. That's the premium, and that's in our budget. So people say, oh, taxes will go up if we get universal health care. No, your taxes are going to go down. And then people say, well, oh, you know, Ronnie, look at Venezuela, look at Cuba, look at those socialized countries where the healthcare has failed. And I'm like, you know what? That's an excellent point. But let's also look at New Zealand. Let's look at Germany. Let's look at the Netherlands. Let's look at Greenland and Iceland. We are in such a unique position where we see what works and what doesn't work. And what a model we have just waiting for us. But again, we need the right people, and Cory Booker is not the right person. Cory Booker will tell you all day long that healthcare is a human right, and he doesn't do anything to advance Medicare for all. And one of his biggest donors the last election was George Norcross and friends. And I don't know if you know who George Norcross is, but he's a very powerful man in New Jersey, and his company writes a lot of health insurance premiums for our public workers.
Yeah. Something that's going on in the entertainment industry is all the jobs are going overseas, and like people who lobby for the big production companies, they just say, oh, it's normal because we're coming out of COVID and you guys went on strike a couple years ago. So we're rebounding from it. But the truth is, it's insurance. They're going overseas to film in countries where they have universal health care, and they can pay them so much less than they pay people here. And, you know, they might take the director, they might take the cast, but they're not bringing any of the crew. There's so many working class, middle class, just, you know, barely making it film crew workers who live in New Jersey, and they commute either to New York City or Philadelphia or upstate or just anywhere where the job is. And I'm so mad about this. And also they have to pay so many tolls, and tolls are good, but they're just paying so fucking much and they're getting squeezed out. And I just really feel like some of like the liberals and I'm basically a liberal. I vote Democrat all the time. I prefer like the progressive types. But a lot of these like people who live in the city who never talk to poor people, frankly,
Right.
they just say like, "Oh, these stupid Trump voters are complaining about tolls." And it's like, "You fucking idiot, just talk to these people and you'll see what their struggles are, and that it's right that they're frustrated because no one's helping them."
LMA eating.
She ate.
So
We
cute.
just got, my husband had to check in to see if our dog ate.
Very cute.
Yeah, she had to eat. Well, getting to your point about them sending the jobs overseas because we can't compete. Like Trump talked about bringing manufacturing back here. It's never going to happen because
Yes.
we can't make the insurance premiums. And what astounds me is you would think, and I really would like to learn more about this myself, is that why is not industry all over Congress to push for universal health care so that they can get that albatross off of their neck?
Mm-hmm.
Because that besides payroll, that's their biggest expense is health insurance premiums. But until we have universal health care, we're not going to bring jobs back. And can you imagine? I always think about all the small businesses that could take off because we have employment tethered health care. People will stay in jobs that they hate,
Yeah,
jobs
exactly.
that are cruel, just because they need the health care. They'll work until their bones are aching and they can barely
Mhm.
move because they need the health care. But if people didn't have to worry about that, who would start up their new jobs? Like what we would see such a boom in small entrepreneurial business that because they're not worried about health care.
Yeah.
And a healthy
Forrest,
country is a productive country.
Forrest says it's wild that more people don't make the business case for universal health care. That, super small businesses, if you have this many employees, you need to pay for their insurance. And so it's really fucking hard to start a small business.
Yes.
And, these huge corporations, they can just make as many franchises and big box stores they want. It's nothing to them. But consumers want little stores where they actually have stuff and the people look you in the face and talk to you like a human.
Yeah, it's contact, it's connection, it's community. But that
Mhm.
was a great comment. That's exactly what I was talking about there. I'm surprised that more business doesn't push harder on it because big business tends to get what big business wants.
I think the problem is that it would benefit small businesses, but it wouldn't necessarily benefit banks, for
Right.
instance. And maybe if you're a small business, you don't want to make too much noise. You don't want to offend powerful people who could potentially help you. And this is why we need more um, labor union, more people joining unions, and the unions need to be stronger because maybe their bosses are not in a position to say, hey, we want universal health care. But if their workers can, as a whole group, say, hey, we all want health care, give it to us or else we'll freak out. Like, that's more powerful.
Yeah.
And again, that's why they keep telling us, oh, labor unions, that's communist. That's what Venezuela did.
Right? Yeah. Well, and you know what? Healthcare is the one issue that affects every single one of us. We all
Yeah.
need healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And like being a wonk in insurance, like I like to talk about like insurance by definition and design is meant to cover loss, not maintenance. It's why your car insurance doesn't cover new tires or oil changes, or why your homeowner's insurance won't get you a new roof or a new driveway. That's maintenance. The human body requires maintenance. We need a maintenance contract, not an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Like life insurance works really well because a bunch of people pay in and only some will die and it will work. everybody will get what they need. So life insurance is actually a very good product. And, you know, if you worry about, oh, the insurance company's going out of business and you're going to lose jobs, every time I call member services or enrollment or benefits or claims or even tech, my calls are answered overseas. So when they tell me, oh, we're just creating jobs over here, I'm like, no, you're not. No,
Yeah.
you're not. The jobs aren't here. So, and then the ones who are in the jobs here, they can go into other lines of businesses. There's like 30, 40 other lines of business. They can go into auto car, create more auto home, make more competition there. They can go into business insurance, make more. They don't have to lose anything. So it's just run so corruptly, chaotically, crazy, and I don't like that Cory Booker has had 13 years to do something about it, and it's only gotten worse under him. And he's connected to people who are going to inspire him to not do a thing about it. So I want to debate him. I really do.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be nervous as heck because he's very eloquent and he's very well spoken. He's a great performer. You can't take that away from him.
He's a showman.
And he's lost his authenticity.
And everyone, you know, remembers him like standing up for like 26 hours or whatever it was. But then you saw, you know, in the following weeks and months, they were like, he's not doing anything though. Like, what was that for? And I remember when I was younger, I think like a Netflix documentary came out about like this young, talented guy who's running for mayor of Newark, and he's on food stamps, and also he didn't need food stamps. It was like he's doing it as like a social experiment.
Yes, yeah.
He was taking food stamps and living in public housing to be like, you know, I'm just like you guys. I'm not in a fancy skyscraper. And he does these kinds of shows with the filibuster and like that kind of like, oh, I'll live amongst the poor. And that stuff does look good. It does make you go, oh, he cares. But then you see his actions and his votes and who he takes money from. And you're like,
No.
why is he doing this? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone knows he's a fucking phony.
Yeah.
So I hope you win.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, we're doing the best we can. I mean, we're an outsider, but, you know, we're making waves and we're getting a lot of support. And I'll tell you, he's more vulnerable now than he ever has been before.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like that he doesn't even have to apply for the job, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, they just say, oh, we need Democrats because they're going to fight Trump. And so many of them do not fight Trump.
He's Trump. I heard, I think it was on I've Had It podcast, they refer to him as Diet MAGA.
Yes.
They're Diet MAGA because he's sending tens of billions of dollars to Netanyahu. And how is that different than Trump?
Exactly.
You know? And then, you know, he's, you know, you hear, you know, I don't want to say things that I can't source or, you know, back up, but, you know, that dialogue, he's involved with the movers and shakers because, again, he wants to be president. And let him be president. I want to work with Jersey, you know?
Yeah. Forrest, do we have any viewer art? Last call for viewer art. Veronica, do you have any final thoughts that you didn't get to say?
What did I want to say? Oh, you talked in the beginning about the detention centers and what we're going to do with them and afterwards. And I have a great idea. Let's make them into centers for citizenship.
Oh, I like that.
I want to clear that up, like right now, because where I live in Roxbury, I don't know if you know where Roxbury is, they're proposing another detention center that's twice the size of Delaney right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think, because we're, like you said, we're just warehousing them, they're not being deported, and they're not even being deported or repatriated. They're being sent to countries they've never been to before.
Yeah.
and they don't know the language, and they're being trafficked, and this will come back to haunt us.
Of
You
course.
can't rip apart. This is who Hamas is. Hamas are the adult children of Palestinians whose families were lost their homes or were killed, and who would not fight back against that?
Exactly.
But I'd like to see that these detention centers be made into fast-tracked stations for citizenship, where you come in the back door with all your documentation. You've been here for 20 years. You've got your pay stubs. You've sent your kids to school. You've contributed to society. You paid your taxes. You haven't gotten to any crimes. All right, well, you committed the misdemeanor of coming into the country illegally. You're going to have to pay a fine, maybe do community service if you want to join the military, and you sign off on all that. And about 20 minutes later, we're swearing you in, and then you go out the front door as a United States citizen, and you go back to work. And you're just like every one of us other immigrants in this country.
Yeah. I mean, these people say they should come here the right way. That sounds like the right way. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Forrest, any viewer art?
Nope,
Or is
no
that
viewer
it?
art. That's it.
Well, Veronica, it was such an honor to talk to you. When I first started seeing you on Threads, I was seeing you post about collecting signatures at the mall and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so awesome. She's so cool.
Oh my God. I walked the beach. I walked the Jersey Shore.
It's awesome.
I lost my voice and I got sunburned, but I got 2,500 signatures.
Well, I think you're really inspiring, and you're also very funny and charming. So if you don't win this time, I think run again.
Well, you know what? I'm 67, I only want one term because I'm at the height of my life. I'm very in great shape and I love it. And I want to spend time with my family, and I want to travel, and I want to do things. My husband and I busted our butts for years so that we could be here. And he just took up sailing. He loves sailing. So we're in a really great time in our lives. So I only want one term, and I want to do this. But if it doesn't work out, I want to help other progressives. Like you mentioned, I saw you mention Ana Lilia Mejia with Adam, and I went out and I canvassed for her to get on the ballot, and boy, did they screw themselves over by over gerrymandering her district. So I want to fight to see more progressives win. Like maybe I could be a campaign manager or, field manager, something like that. But I'm in it to win it. No doubt about it. I want to win it. But if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to run again, but I want to be involved in getting progressives elected.
Veronica Fernandez, everybody. Woo! Thank you so much. You're really awesome.
My donate page.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's www.veronicaforsenate.com, and you can follow us on all the social media. And if you want to donate, you can donate, because we're going to start. I'm horrible at videos, but they're making me be better. That's my weak spot. I'm terrible at videos.
Well, the more you do them, you'll figure out what works for you.
Yeah. Just go with the flow, and just get the message across, and that matters. Doesn't matter if, I don't know, my earrings in or not. I don't know. All right. It was lovely to talk to you guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.